Hello, this is Train Fever, and I am Colonel Failure. Welcome back to the disaster that is my financial mismanagement of this railway. And those observant amongst you, and presuming the video hasn't cut it off, you can probably see that we've moved forward in time until 2015. What has happened in that time? Well, I have been desperately trying to get myself back to profitability. This was not easy. I'd made some fundamental mistakes in my planning and my execution of setting up this railroad. And for those of you who want the details, we're currently rocking a $4.7 million loan, and that's nowhere near as bad as it actually got. At the worst, that was up to about $7 million. So we're now gradually clawing our way back into running a profitable enterprise. Now, what had I done wrong? Well, a couple of things. So let's start with the small stuff. So the abortive oil industry that I set up earlier on was never going to make money initially. So I abandoned the trains on there, but I left the stations up. Now, the cost of stations, let's have a quick look here. Property maintenance for railroads is currently running at $155,000 a year, and that is the maintenance not only of the track but also of the stations. So I went back and I deleted those stations. Took a bulldozer to them, knocked them down. They are no longer a factor in this railroad. Sure, I may rebuild them at some point, but I'll do so when I've got enough profits sat in the bank in order to be able to see it through, in order to be able to take them to profitability. At the present time, we're a very long way from that eventuality. The second thing that I was doing wrong was running trains with small consists. So I was running locos back and forth, shuttling along the Haver-Tukes line, which we'll go take a look at when I've finished this glorious introduction. Each of which had a passenger capacity of between 20 and 30 people. Now that was fine, and they were somewhat profitable, except when you factor in the cost of actually running the train in the first place. So by the time you factored in that these locomotives and all the carriages that they're towing behind them all need to have maintenance paid on them every month, every however long the game decrees that you have to pay maintenance, the profit that they were making was actually being eroded pretty quickly. So the upshot was that not only was I not making money fast enough to do much expanding, but over time those expansions were just as likely to run me into bankruptcy as they were anything else. So I borrowed a whole bunch of money, and I've replaced each of the trains with longer consists. So we're now running one train only on the Haver-Tukes Express. We're running one on the Haver-Bex Express, and we're running one on the Bex-Rip Express. Let's have a quick shufty at each of those. Actually, let's bring up the lines first. So here we go. So we're running 5 coaches on Haver-Bex. We're running 4 on Haver-Tukes, and as you can see, we've got quite a lot of green going on. This is what we like to see. The Bex-Rip Express hasn't quite reached profitability yet, but we are more or less offsetting its costs with the profitability of other rail lines. The reason that I want to over-index on that front is because I believe that supply yields demand. Therefore, if I can carry 100 passengers every so often, then we're more likely to get 100 turning up. That's the theory, anyway, and it should stimulate a little bit of growth in each of those cities. So let's. I'm reluctant to shut these stations down because I'm kind of keeping an eye on demand. So yes, I mean there came a point where actually, hang on, let's repay a million of this, I think. Ooh, lovely. I'm desperately trying to get my loan back down. As well, because I mean, as you can see, it was, I mean, at its worst, it was eating the best part of 200,000 every year, which, as you can imagine, comes straight out of your profits. So here we go. This chap here is running the. Where are you going? Your Haver-Bex. This is the Haver-Bex line here. coming out from Haverhill, which is by far and away our largest station. As you can see, we've got, with the Haver-Tewkes Express having just left, we've got 65 people waiting for the Haverbex that is just about to come in and has a capacity of 70. This is absolutely what we want to see. I think a fundamental rule that I'm going to set for myself is that, you know, we want to not quite meet demand in the future. If we aim to not only beat but exceed demand, it's going to cost us money. Sadly, this may actually be a reality of running a real railroad. Is that you know, you want people standing up in your trains because there aren't enough seats, because that means you're profitable. Okay, so where are we? Haverhill to Tewkesbury, the original and still the, well, I guess still the best. Here we go. At Tewkesbury, we've got 65 people waiting, which is fantastic, and we've got 12 waiting from where I assume we've just departed. Now, the downside here is that this little fella is struggling. He's coming up on being in need of replacement. I mean, look at this, and he's barely making it up this hill in the slightest. And I mean, we're not talking about the biggest incline in the world. Well, or maybe we are. Maybe, oh, yeah, okay, that is quite a hill. Well, the good news for him is that coming the other way, he does get to go downhill. But he's carrying 42 of 56 passengers, and that's good numbers. That's what we want to see. That's more than enough to make him profitable. Perhaps a little overloaded. And I mean, I've mentioned before that what I want to do is look into what the kind of the maximum load that each of these different locos can actually carry while still being able to maintain decent speed. And this guy's rated at a 45 kilometre per hour kind of max speed, and he's doing what, 20-ish I think at the moment, 31, and that's with him having almost hit the top of this line. So you know, let's see if he can get a little more gusto going once he's on the flat and then going downhill. The newer locomotives, of course, are a little bit more tolerant towards both load and incline, but they are fearsomely expensive to implement in the first place. So running on the other lines, I have actually I can't remember what it's called. Hold on, let's call up this depot. What are we running? We're running A3s. Yeah, there you go. Pretty obvious. So yeah, these A3s are magnificent. They are fast. They're robust. They can haul it, frankly, and they cost 1.1 million a throw. Which, if you look back to 2013, that's what that new vehicle was. I was replacing the train on the Ripon to Bexhill line. Still, it has to be done. So look, here we go. Look, we're almost up to 50 kilometres an hour now as we come on the tail end of this route. I think this particular section is a little bit downhill. So there you go. So that's my kind of big learning to take away here is fewer trains, more carriages. That's the trick, and I'm sure a lot of you with more experience than myself will currently be sat there saying, well, duh. Yes, I know. My apologies for misthinking that one. However, I mean, that was largely based off the fact that historically I've only run trains with 1-2 coaches in the consist, and I think to start off with, that's definitely the way you want to go, because the trains, as you can see from this fella, and he's not the original locomotive that's available in the game. He's really struggling to pull more than that, and not to mention the fact that it was actually pretty profitable to do so. There we go. He still made 300 grand though, and you know, we'll take that. Let's see how that's stacked up against his expenses. Haver-Tewkes Express. So he's plus 430 grand for the year, which is handsome. Not the Haverbex Express though, with its 5 coaches. It's pushing $1 million for this year, and if it pulls in the next 5 seconds or so, it will push the $1 million mark entirely. I don't know where he is. Probably miles away. Our survey says. And nope, didn't quite make it. Oh well, never mind. There's always next time. So Yeah, I mean our profits have been steadily increasing. In 1913 we made 3.1 million. In 1914 we made 3.4 million. In 1915 we made 4.1 million. This is all positive stuff. Plus, the balance of our loan is going down. When I left you, I think the loan was around 2 million, 3 million, and we're now up to 3.7, down from a top of 7. My God, 7. Yeah, we let that get a bit out of control. Okay, good. So yes, basically for the last, having made the revisions necessary to each train consist, I've been just sitting here waiting for the money to sort itself back out again before plotting my next masterful move. I would very much like to get some cargo running by train rather than by truck, just purely because I think we can haul more and haul it quickly. So let's have a look at what we've got going on here. So this is the kind of the vehicle list overall. Everything's making a profit. That vehicle there, he's probably a little too close to the one in front of him. So he's not had a chance to maximise his passenger take. Actually, Tube Circle overall is not making me wealthy. I'll have to have a look at that. And the Bex Ripper Express, of course, is also it's costing a lot to run. Let's pay closer attention to it. Okay, here he is. What have we got? 28 of 42. So he's only got 4 coaches in his consist rather than... Oh no, he's only got 3. Okay. He's got 3 coaches in his consist, which is what I should have said to begin with. Unlike his larger brethren, which is running down to Haverhill. But then Haverhill is our big success story to date. But I'm optimistic that over time he will come good. I oddly personifying each of these trains with a masculine gender. Maybe the stations are ladies and the trains are gentlemen. Who knows? Maybe I should just pack that in. Anyway, yes. I mean, as mentioned before, what I'm trying to achieve here is I'm trying to achieve profitability over time. So what I want to accomplish from this kind of lesser profit route is to build up demand over time by offering supply. So if we look at where's he going to? He's going to Ripon. There's 15 waiting at Ripon now, which isn't tremendous at all, but it'll do. Okay, right, what shall I do? We're up to 1 million again, right, let's repo some more. I try to keep at least 400,000 sat in the bank, just to replace vehicles as the need arises. Trains and trucks and buses all get older, and when they do so, the cost to run them increases accordingly. So it's always sensible to replace them at a good point. When I replaced the Ripon Bexhill Express, it was in excess of 45 years old and was costing a fortune. Oddly enough, though, it was still profitable. So maybe I should have just left it the hell alone. And that was running a 2-car consist. Okie doke. Right, enough of this waffling. What shall we look at? Alright, let's have a look at... we were looking at Tewkesbury passenger services on the Tewkesbury Circle, which was not profitable. Okay, so let's call that up. Tewkes Circle. There we go. Okay, the red line. Where are we going here? Oh, look at that! An actual civilian motor car behind the ghost truck. Fantastic. Okay, so buses are proceeding along in an anti-clockwise fashion, but there just doesn't seem to be the demand coming up. That's interesting. It was pointed out to me, I do read every comment, it was pointed out that I haven't got auto replacement set on a couple of lines. So I shall set those up now. Thank you very much for pointing it out. If you ever spot me doing something stupid, please do let me know. What have we got going on? I'm not going to set trains to auto replace. I'd rather do that manually so that I can pick out the most sensible consist at the time. But I will set certainly my goods vehicles. So we're going to change this up because we've got a new option here. So we now have the Benz, which so we're running these Canstats at the moment, which can carry 6, and upgrading to a Benz would mean that we could carry 8, which is more. Let's have a look at all our cargo lines here. So we've got 6 of 6. Where are we here? 6 of 6, 6 of 6, 6 of 6, 6 of... I think, as you can tell, we are pretty much hitting demand there. So I think we can quite happily say, right, okay, when you replace, get the latest and greatest vehicle on that road. And let's do this across the board, shall we? What's the button? That's the one I just did. That's the one I just did. Okay, so, yeah, why? Well, we've got a lot of windows open here. Has that set it for all of them? Do we think? No, it hasn't. Okay, fine. Okay, this is positive stuff. That's right. Yes, it is. That's a coal line. Good. Naming your lines, I can't advocate it highly enough. This would be so much more of a pain in the backside if I was just going like, but what does line 7 have on it? Did I do iron? I better double check in a sec. There we go. Yep. You're happy. Good. And the iron line, vehicle replacement. Smashing. Okay, right. That's all of those set up to do my bidding, which is excellent. Now, Bexhill Circle. Why are you not making many? He's only carrying 3 passengers. Now, I have previously considered adding greater capacity again. In fact, I did it with Ripon. Let's have a look at the Ripon Circle and see if that's actually paid off. 50,000. I should Coco. That's definitely paying off. So that was also running 1 bus round its central ring, and having doubled that to 2 buses, that actually seems to be paying off quite nicely. Is it manifesting itself in greater passenger demand? Actually, it looks like it might be. The train should be due pretty much any second based on the 35 people waiting. Where are we? Actually, it's only just left the previous station. What's the occupation like? 38 to 42. This is good. Where are we? September, and we're at 3 million. We're looking at 4 million is our previous year total. Oh, let's get some more loan repaid off. Okay, so it's paid off for Ripon. Bexhill's getting more train traffic coming in, so the logic, right, has to be that I should add another bus to this route. Call it what you will. Do you have a preference? Leave a comment. Okay. Bexhill Circle has got a Mac on it at the moment. We want to wait for the Mac to kind of reach the outskirts there. The Mac remains in operation until 1935, which is 20 years away. Okay, so that's fine. So we're likely to get plenty of mileage out of this Mac before we retire it for something more favourable. Alright, let's buy it now and then set it to work. Get yourself on the Bexhill Circle. Off you trot. Make me some money. Bring more passengers to the station, for the love of God. That's what we're here for. Actually, the Haver Circle, I think we might be oversubscribed in terms of running 3 carriages. What are you looking at here? You're running 6 of 8. You're running 0 of 8. Well, I've got bad news for you. You're running 0. Go to the depot. And you are running 8 of 8. Okay. Well, they're slow, but I'm going to Let's change the vehicle replacement there to be the Mac. No, not the Benz. You can't put people in a truck. Okay, yeah. Set vehicle as the Mac. Okie dokie. Off you trot. Anyone else being... Yeah, Tube Circle still. Let's set that to be replaced with the Mac as well. People like to ride in the most up-to-date things. I've decided, and therefore that's the thing. Okay. Right, so what are we looking at here? We've got... where are we? We've got one line that's not profitable. That's acceptable. That's definitely acceptable. And I'm optimistic that it will become profitable in the very near future. Look at this though. Haverhill's a monster. Haverhill can support, could possibly support even more trains. But that's the thinking that got me into trouble last time around. So let's just wait in the Haverhill Road depot here. Wait for this soon-to-be retired chump to turn up. And of course, by taking him out of that circuit, and this goes back to where I started off today. You know, when he completes this circuit, it will mean that there are only 2 buses running the route around the town, rather than 3, which should mean that each of those buses is full. That's the thinking. Also, what the heck is going on here? Are you just looking at... Oh, you're looking at a goods route. Smashing. Right, there we go. He's in, and you're fired. Brutal, but it had to be done. Okay, let's round out this episode by a quick look at the population numbers to see what's moving. So, if you look at number 1, it's Bexhill. Number 2, it's Ripon. It's number 3 is Haverhill. And Tewkesbury is back down at the bottom again. Still negligible on the growth there from Tewkesbury. Well, hopefully we can turn that around over time. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Hopefully, as much as this has been something of a recap episode of stuff you didn't see while I was cracking on trying to make sure that this playthrough would actually survive, that it's actually been, you know, somewhat entertaining. Let me know. You know, what's the stuff you want to see? The previous comments have suggested that actually it's quite nice because I talk about what I'm trying to do. Thank you very much for that. And to be honest, I don't think I could change from that particular pattern. Long may it continue. But, you know, if there's something you want to see me try, something you want to see me do, and you've made it this far in the video, I think you've earned the right to demand it. Equally, if you want to name one of the trains that we have, pop a comment in. If first come, first served. You stick a suggested name in. You know, we've got 3 trains running right now. You decide what it's called, as long as it's not crass. If you don't know what crass means, look it up. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you next time. I've been Colonel Failure. Cheerio.